Do you ever fight about who does more around the house? I'm a therapist, and this is one of the number one things my couples argue about. This is also something I face in my relationship, and to combat that, I actually bought a deck of cards that we can use to allocate the chores and responsibilities in our house. It doesn't have to actually be a deck of cards. You could do a spreadsheet, you could print out a list of chores and responsibilities, but I highly recommend getting clear on who is doing what, how it is happening, when we are checking in with each other, just to make sure that the relationship feels equitable. It does not have to be equal. It doesn't have to be an equal number of tasks that we both have. It just has to be that we've both considered each task, how that impacts us, how that impacts the family, and we have a minimum standard of care for that activity that we are taking on. This includes the mental load, because that's also a very important part of that division of labour. It's not all the physical tasks, it's also that mental thinking about things that needs to go on, and that can often land pretty heavily on one person's shoulders. An example of the mental load is all that thinking we do behind a task. So it could be the thinking about what we're having for dinner. It's not actually the making of the dinner. It's the thinking about what presents we're going to buy for our family members or for our partner. So it's anything where the thinking is required and the task still hasn't been completed. So the way these cards work is you just literally go through them. You decide who is currently doing that, or maybe who is happy to do those particular tasks. So if, for example, it's something I'm already doing and I'm happy to keep, then that goes in my pile. If there's something that I definitely want to make sure is in Scott pile, home renovations, yes, that's his. He can have that. Cash and bills, he can also have that one. So we're wanting to make sure that we're happy with what we're actually being allocated or agreeing to, and then we'll have a pile of tasks that maybe no one is jumping for. So maybe we outsource those, or we get the kids involved, or we're going to have to negotiate who is actually going to take on those tasks. For more tips like this, follow me and check out my podcast.